Dr. Kaiyu Guan, University of Illinois.
I'm very honored to be here to talk about my recent work with NREC. And then so I will primarily focus on two aspects of my project. The first aspect is about the cover crop, and the second aspect is about how to better use nitrogen fertilizer. So there are multiple benefits of cover crop, but also cover crop require resource to grow. And also there are some concerns from the farmer community that whether the cover crop gonna negatively affect the cash crop growth in the coming growing season. We want to understand how you grow cover crop can really benefit your farm and how to do that. And then also in particular, we want to understand what kind of the cover crop and how you grow cover crop in your specific farmland. And then we want to consider all the land, farmland across the state of Illinois. And then so it's a very comprehensive study. And then so some of the key questions that we really want to understand is, let's say if you grow cover crop, if you grow cereal rye, and then we know that cereal rye, if you think about growing cover crop, you need to talk about when you plant the cover crop, when you terminate the cover crop, such that you can maximize the benefit of growing cover crop, but also minimize the impact that you may have for the coming growing season cash crop. And then so our studies try to really tackle these questions. And then so in our recent modeling work, what we do is we did a metadata analysis, which basically look at 200 literatures published papers that are talking about the cover crop benefit, cover crop applications. And then once the model is calibrated, we can start to really use the model to ask questions of how you grow cover crop to maximize your benefit while reduce your negative impact. And then just to go into a little deeper, why cover crop, how we should think about cover crop management practice. If you planted a cover crop, early on, you can benefit, you can let the cover crop grow longer period of time, such that the cover crop can gain more biomass. But at the same time, in the spring, if you terminate cover crop too late, then the cover crop will take water resources and nitrogen, available nitrogen in the soil, in the spring, such that it become a competitor of the coming summer cash crop. And then so you don't want to let the cover crop continue for too long. You want to cut the cover crop at the right time. And then so basically when you plant the cover crop, when you terminate the cover crop, is really a key management decision that farmers need to make. Now our study go to one step further. Not only helping farmers to manage your cover crop, we also quantitatively tell you the number that if you grow cover crop, what's the benefit you're gonna gain. But it's always a mystery that how much soil organic carbon you can gain by growing cover crop. And then so what we are doing is we use the models to assess the benefit of soil organic carbon. And then so we simulate 10 years, 20 years down the road to really see the benefit of the soil organic carbon. And the process is, basically cover crop, you grow the cover crop in the winter, you actually can absorb more carbon from the atmosphere, and that brings more carbon into the ground, and that increases the soil organic carbon. And then that increased soil organic carbon usually can manifest its benefit to crop yield for your cash crop, usually around 10 years to 20 years. So you do need to wait for some time to really see the benefit. You couldn't expect to see that you grow cover crop this year, you're going to see the benefit next year. It's not how the nature works. Another aspect of the project is to really understand the economics behind the cover crop. As we all know that growing cover crop require costs. You have to buy the seed, you have to plant the seed, and you have to terminate. And then whether it's economically viable is one of the major questions when farmers can see the benefit and how the economics really work. And to answer that question, we also work with economists in our campus, and then the economists, in particular Gary Schnicke and Nick Paulson, and we link that information with the farmer budget. and then to understand how the growing cover crop can fit into your current budget and make it work, and how the long-term benefit of the cover crop can really make that economically viable. And this, we presenting the result for each specific county, such that farmers can click the map and go to the county of your home county, and then understand if you grow cover crop, what's the benefit of you growing cover crop, how the economics work for your home county if you grow cover crop, as well as the best management practice if you want to grow cover crop. Another project that we are working on with the NREC funding is related to how to best manage fertilizer application for nitrogen fertilizer. As you probably already know, the MRTM tool is the classic nitrogen management tool that has originated in the land-grant university, and the University of Illinois is one of the major contributors of that tool. And then for our state, we have been continuing collecting the nitrogen farm trials across the state funded by NREC. We want to look at all these data and build an updated version of the MRTN, and then primarily target at the state of the Illinois. The outcome of that is a designed website that hosted in University of Illinois that farmers or any users, CCA, can click the website, look at any specific agricultural district, and then click that, and then you will see if you use different nitrogen forms of fertilizer, if you at different settings, what's the best amount of the nitrogen amount you're putting on the ground. And so it's entirely based on the newest data set, as well as the revised improvements in the MRTN algorithm. In my group, we are doing a lot of modeling, and in able to handle a really large computation, we use the Blue Water supercomputer in our university. And this is the biggest supercomputer in any university in the US.